Crypto media friends, we're here Friday, overtime show here, the studio lot here in Los Angeles. Welcome as we talk about NFTs, metaverse, and things as a creator potentially. I tell you, I'm just so overworked right now. I'm just like hanging on to this fast-moving space. It's just going by so fast. There's so much going on, but I think at the head each day comes a project or two that really stands out, and so that's why please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, because if you're getting this weeks from now, you're gonna be pissed at me, and maybe then you will subscribe. Winston Churchill says that especially Americans, we will do the right thing when it's the only thing left to do. So anyway, this is all worldwide though. This is what's great about this space. If you go onto any Discord, you'll see everybody, good morning. You're like, it's 5 p.m. Where are you? Singapore, that's where you're at. Asia. So I want to talk today about Nifty Degens, a different kind of Degens. Degens we talked about before, which is a different project. It's funny because you're sort of making up words to try and fit in this space, and so you got Nifty, and that means the marketplace. So they had to sort of change it and say Nifty League, and then Degens they had to kind of spell it a bit different because it's a great term in the space of NFTs and cryptocurrency, but its use you have to kind of combine it with things just to make it sound original. But it's got some really great buzz behind it because it has a really fantastic mint that was insane. The mint was beautiful. The mint was like such a cool experience. I didn't get to experience it as I was hearing about it, and funny enough, I was sort of caught Ellio as I was kind of working. It was just in the background, and I just saw like this really cool mint, and then it sold out like as he was covering it, and so just kind of like and so I kind of looked at the secondary market, and it's just one of those that has a different. This has a different feel to it, and I'll explain why. And so you have. I always look at this, seeing how many are actually for sale. 1723. The bears, the honey bears, conversely had so many holders that drove the price up. So that floor just rocketed because you had so many people holding on because the prospects that they're going to make some DeFi love rain down on them in the form of honey coins. And so so you got to ask this project, Nifty League Degens, how are you going to make me rich? How are you guys going to make it rain on me here? Especially at 1723, that's relatively a lot. The interesting thing is the demands. Now, like Sad Bar Girls had incredible demand, but at the floor. So it was this incredible demand at the floor, and it was just kind of cycling up and cycling down. And so eventually that type of run-up has a bit of a cool-off. And so it kind of then is up to the project to sort of reinvent itself in a way or push forward with an agenda that excites the community. And so they've got a great starting place, and this has a great starting place. Fantastic, amazing mint, great coverage in terms of media, and then you have what's happening today, which is they want to create an NFT gaming platform through community governance, and being one of the first, I love this term, GameFi platforms. And that's what we're talking about, the marriage of games and decentralized finance into pay for play, into these abilities to earn coins that may have value outside of the specific universe. The mint was such a cool one because you could just pick your character, and then it would give you a list of traits, and you can just add on those traits and mix and match those traits. A lot of people try to go, as you can see, 0 traits with the least amount of traits, because traditionally in a sort of a normal mint that has more value because there's less traits, and so there's less of those. But I feel like here that didn't pay off. Like just having no traits seemed to be You can see sort of the after the mention yesterday on September 30th, sales like went through the roof, and continually do so, pushing. But the thing is the floor. You're going to see that rise tomorrow. And here's the weird thing: is nobody's buying. I mean, some people are, but not a lot of people are. Well, a lot of people are not just buying the floor, and I think that makes this a very unique case, where you have people who are buying into the collectability, into there's some really cool ones that people are going to hold on to for a while, because of the way that you were able to mint, you could ostensibly create a character. And so I saw Sam Jackson from Pulp Fiction, kind of worked out, and there was one that looked like oh God, which is his name, from Bryan Cranston's character, but just had like the bowler hat and like a little thing that looked like meth. So it was interesting how they were able to pull from the pool of available traits, and given you can see sort of the trait number is just very, they wanted to have like super rarities all over the place, so everything kind of looks rare in a sense. And so like you have this one that just has like everything you could possibly have on one, and to its credit, it's sold quite well. And so you have these user created NFTs, and so I think that's super cool, because that community got to make these, and through that process, make interesting sort of little funny combinations. And so I think that has a bit more of immediate value, immediate collectability, and I feel like that collectors are looking into that now. And so here's our game, NFT Smashers, and this is really awesome. They had a game ready to go. Now, is this game fully functional, like the little Pong game there? No, it's not. I go in here and I show you guys, give you guys a little piece of it. So it's like this great, throwback game. I wasn't able to do too much with my little frog guy. They're going to go live, I believe, late October with the competition. So I was just kind of playing with the controls here. Even though my guy like had a gun and like this frying pan and like all these additional traits, it seems like because he was of the frog gang, if you will, the different tribes. There's 8 tribes that his move was to stick the tongue out, and he can also swing his bat and jump high, I guess, maybe. We'll see if other ones have anything similar, but that seemed to be the limit of his movement, and that's okay. The expectations, I think, for gaming right now are super low. If you can make it fun, even in this throwback kind of way, it can be great. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've played a better game than this already. Like some of the games that I've demoed were sort of really drawl, and this has a bit of a throwback, but it feels the controls feel quite nice and modern. So hopefully the gameplay will have some interest against other people. And so here are the 8 different tribes that you can get. Roughly, I guess this is sort of more of a generational creation off the mint map. But you can see some people, went very bare bones, and then some were throwing a lot on there. And I think that this is, and they got a little bit of lore, saying that there's going to be, this competition between, the 6 tribes, and creating, building upon Satoshi and his legend and lore. This idea that there's a league, and you're going to compete to live with Satoshi in this citadel, because who doesn't want to live with a secret Japanese guy? And this sounds very Michael Jackson kind of going and live in Satoshi's Wonderland. So this is why I do this live, I guess, and I apologize for the bad humor that comes across live. Guys like Becker and stuff, they have an editor come and cut that part out, and only the cool stuff where he like talks about him winning Orange Eating Championship. That's the stuff that you get with his show. Have you ever seen those guys live? It's kind of interesting. They're just like us, They're looking to try and find their way in this space, and they're making a hell of a name for themselves. So this is trying to halcyon days of retro gaming. I'm so tired, guys. Sorry. It's got I think the power here is the DAO, the creation of a DAO. So you're not creating just you're funding this decentralized autonomous organization, giving it a lot of money, and then asking the community, okay, what do you want to build? And that hopefully this is the thing, is like you need resources to do that. And if the community has these types of resources, the programmers, etc., you can see it active in Animatus, which I always reference a lot here on the show, because they have that level of support. They have a lot of programmers, people who are willing to go and create for them sort of a staking swap system, and connecting them to that community. And so here, I don't know how much they're leveraging that. It does seem, to some degree at least, to have programmers who can build games, and however simple, but still well executed, I feel, in this space so far. Now, created by hand members, created by hand members, they made these NFTs, and like I said, they minted them by hand creating, just members if we're just like cranking these out as we were minting. They could design them, which was just super cool, and maybe slowed down the gas wars just a touch. And so they want to try and increase collabs, I think, just like everybody else, and they're calling out Bored Ape Yacht Club, and I thought this was interesting. 50% of all proceeds go to the DAO or whatever, to Nifty DAO, but then where's the other 50 going? It's going to their friggin' pockets, man. I think that was like a really clever way to say we're gonna get rich. Most tend to do about 5%. 7.5 was ballyhooed by stoner cats, and they had to force their way back down to 5 because that seemed like a big land grab, a big cash grab. And that's the thing, these guys are making so much money, and I think this one they're definitely looking to pocket it. And maybe that's okay, because they worked hard on this. They had a lot of costs in building that game. You can see there's 3 years. First 3 years, there's a token emission. The tokenomics of this, I can't quite get through it in terms of when it drops. But there was a pool, and I'll show you later, that was available at the website already, and it's already been deteriorated. So I didn't quite understand it, but certainly they'll be dropping. They say it's a yearly award, in a sense. I don't know, again, like how often they're going to be dropping this coin, but it makes it feel very long term here. And so this is one of the ones that, if you want to get into, it's going to take a long time to, I think, actuate the coins, and getting, anytime you're talking games, like, those take a while to develop. And so look at Animatus. I mean, they've been trying to do the hoverbike game, and I think it's gonna be rad when they do. But it's been 6 months since their drop, and they still haven't really delivered on much of any type of game. And so here, it's a lot of distribution, and it really is. If you look at it, the tokenomics are a little favoring the creators, but I think it's cool that they're at least explaining it. Most don't, and they just have these massive DAOs, like I was mentioning. Nouns have 25 million. They probably have like near 30 million now in their treasury, and they don't know what to do with it. They're just making so much money, and it's in, that's the thing, is like if you describe the tokenomics and you program it right, it's hopefully just going to go into this DAO that they give to the community at some point. But everything seems to be controlled right now. I don't get a sense anywhere in NFT land. Do you? Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. But in the comments, if you feel like that there's a DAO that's like, oh yeah, we're really just giving out all of that money to community efforts. I saw Bored Ape Yacht Club, doing a couple of things, but it didn't seem like there was a lot of a small portion, a sliver of what's available to them. So if you're into the Discord and into this project now, they're going to be kind of showering the tokens all around the NFTL over the first month. Random Discord users. There's those who get involved in their competitions and stuff. They'll have contests and certainly try and raise awareness of the project. And so through that, they'll just kind of drop tokens all over people. And as reward, like T-shirts being shot out of a cannon, they're just gonna blast you with these rewards. So, what do they buy though? It's do they have value outside in an open market like banana, like honey may? That remains to be seen. But certainly within their universe, you can see the utility. You can see getting maybe weapons and stuff for your game. And having that game ready to go was quite killer. Having a really cool mint that was fun as heck, and then having a game ready to go, I think speaks a lot about the viability of the project and this team's ability and understanding of that sort of that mantra here of like, how are you going to make me rich? Like, how are you going to build DeFi into this? How are you going to create a gaming platform with these characters? And by personalizing them to such an interesting degree, I mean, the randomization, is always fun, but the randomization plus the curation of each character by a member is very different than any other project. And that's why I got in here, because I was just like, it's curated in a very, people had to choose and create this. So this is a very interesting group art project. And this is my guy here. He has a monocle, and he had a gun, and he has breakfast, and I don't know, maybe a lot of rap songs, I think, maybe just growing up in the time that I did, just like all these like rap songs, I was like, there, hey, it's Ice Cube, he's like cooking breakfast with, but he does have hog though in there. That's definitely hog next to those eggs. But it was just like this kind of tough looking dude, and I was just like, oh, that looks funny. Somebody took the time to kind of like pull those elements from a treasury that was available to them to create this character. And I think that's kind of cool. And the results of which I think is why you have collecting. That floor will be at 0.36 or 0.39. That floor has been at 0.39, I believe, all day, because of the simple ones that are sitting on the floor that don't have the appreciation for in this collection for having low traits, because people typically, if you do it randomized and you get something that only has one or two traits, you're like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Here, when you're doing it intentionally, that created a lower value system, and so that lower value cast, if you will, is sitting at 0.39, and some people will pick it up. But what's happening in the marketplace, and we'll look again at the OpenSea, but what's happening in the marketplace, you can see, is people are not buying off the floor. They're buying into 0.5s. They're buying into 0.8, 1.6, 2s, and so you have your floor buys, but it's just like not everybody's buying at that 0.39. They're getting the 4.5s, the 4s, the 4.4s, the 4.9s. So people are buying above the floor, aiming at interesting ways that this project came together, and interesting curation. So I think in terms of collectability, this is very high, because it's just the social aspect to it, the originality of doing it this way. I think it could hearken to more following in the footsteps here. But I just think they were ready. They had a game ready. The game's going to drop in the end of October once they get the functionality ready, but they had something to show, something to kind of get your character. My character got to play. My little guy got to jump into this game and jump around in this, it's a stupid little thing, but you got to feel sort of the mechanics of the game. And it's as simple as any other 8-bit game that came before it, but it has your guy or your girl in there, or your avatar in there. Your NFT is functioning in the play, and so I thought that was just great in terms of preparation for a project to have. And kind of one of those that I feel like I'm just going to kind of put away for a while and hope that it pans out in terms of the team continuing its momentum, because I think it's got a lot of momentum right now, and they just need to continue it by delivering and making us rich. Like, how are you gonna enrichen us? With making it fun, gameplay, dropping tokens on us, doing the things that we know that this space has possible for us, and certainly is raising the bar for each project. Every project, it seems like daily, you can feel it in other rooms. When you go to like other rooms that, used to be hot, I won't mention any names, but like, you're like, hey, what's going on here? Oh, well, we got this thing in like 7 weeks, but we got, you can hang out and do a movie watch, next weekend, and it's just like, the programming is a bit sparse, and they don't quite know what to do now that they've had success. They don't quite know what to do with their millions sitting in the DAO. They don't know what to do with the great community that they have, and that's tragic. I think they really need to push themselves as projects to understand their role in this, and their role in this is to make us rich, is to enrichen us with games, gameplay, tokens, figuring out tokenomics that make their project more valuable. That's what they should be doing. It's just like a lot of them don't understand that fully, but the ones that do are the ones I'm collecting. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, and put some projects that you think got this going on, because I think this is the way. This is truly the way. I think that we should be engaging with those in the space and collecting those that understand this.